Well, you probably knew it was going to be our final topic on dictionaries. We need to discuss how you can modify them. Dictionaries are perfectly mutable. Yeah, so they're not like our tuples. We can just directly modify them. Let's take a look. Here you can see I'm at the idle shell and I have entered our English to Spanish dictionary that we've been working with. Yeah, so there's our 3 entries. What if I wanted to change the entry for dog? If it's mutable, the dictionary, I should be able to just directly do this, right? So I would actually say English, Spanish, and then I'd give the key of dog, and then I could modify the value, I believe. I'll give it the word perrito, which is doggy in Spanish. All right, so, and I'm not sure if I'm spelling that right. It might be a single T, and at this point in the video, I apologize to all of my Spanish speakers out there. Not sure which is right, but let's go ahead and use this to modify the entry. Let's see if this works. And of course, to test that, we can just print it. So let's print our English-Spanish dictionary, and look at that. We did directly modify the value stored in the key of dog. Yeah, so notice it's a mutable object. Therefore, like a list, we can just directly modify it. Now, what if we wanted to add a brand new item? Well, guess what? That can be done just directly as well. So I can go English, Spanish, and then I can give my new key value. How about bird? And I do believe that is going to equal in Spanish the word chica, which interestingly is also the word for girl, I believe. So context would be important there. And we go ahead and enter this. And did it work? Let's check it out. Once I hit the right command recall key, and I always forget that in Windows, as you probably remember. Anyways, let's print and look at that. It worked perfectly. Yeah, pretty surprising, right? That you can just add a new key value, and then add the new value for that key directly. Wow, so pretty interesting. Okay, but there's another way we can actually add an entry to a dictionary, and that is because we have an update method for dictionaries. Yeah, so check this out. I can say English Spanish dot update, and then I can give the new key value pairing. How about horse, which is gosh, I'm going to really butcher this. Again, I hope I'm spelling it correctly. This is really prompting me to get back to some Spanish study, but caballo, which was one of the first words I kind of fell in love with when I was studying Spanish. I just think that's, for whatever reason, such a cool word for horse. So, does this work? Let's check it out. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, no error message. That's a good sign. And now I'm going to print, and look at that. It did indeed work. We just updated the dictionary with that new value. So, multiple ways. Yeah, you can add to a dictionary, as we've seen. What if I want to delete a value? Well, no problem. One way to do it is to just go ahead and say delete, and then you would give the appropriate key. So I'll say English, whoops, got to spell that right, underscore Spanish, and I would say something like, let's get rid of the horse entry. And so close off the square brackets there, and let's check out if that worked. Yep, it's that simple. So we can just say delete. We can reference our dictionary and the appropriate index that we want deleted for the index and value pairing. One final manipulation I want to show you in this video, and that would be another way to delete. And what we have is another method for dictionaries, and it's called pop item. Yeah, pop meaning remove, pop off. Yeah, pretty interesting. So English _ Spanish dot pop item, and then you just give it empty parentheses. We don't need to do anything fancy with the pop item method. We just want to pop off the final value inside of our dictionary. And notice what Python does. It shows us that, okay, you just popped the item of bird chica. And now, once again, if we were to print our dictionary, yep, sure enough, it did remove the bird chica entry. So, can we manipulate our dictionaries? Oh, of course we can. They're mutable and it's very easy to do so. First, we saw how you can overwrite a value with ease. Then we saw how you could add a new value with ease. Then we saw a method called update that you could use to add a value. And one of the things to watch out for there is, notice you have to do the curly braces and they end up being inside of the regular parens for the function itself of update. Then we saw how you can use the delete command to get rid of an entry, or if you want to, you can pop the last entry out of the dictionary. By the way, a little bit of trivia for you. In early versions of Python 3 code, pop item would randomly remove an entry from the dictionary. Yeah, I think about 3.6 and higher, they kind of came to their sanity with that method, and they have it pop the last item in the dictionary. So that's how we observed its behavior, and you know that we are on Python 3 13.3. So that's why I was confident when teaching you this feature, it would indeed trim off the last item. Well, thank you so much for watching, folks, and we've turned another turning point in this course. It's time for us to discuss strings. I hope to see you there.